All right, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be reacting to the Addressing the Hate It's My Turn video. I guess Jordan did this video a few years ago, and this video has always been very interesting to me, specifically because 4 years ago, I made a video of me just in my bathroom talking about the drama that surrounded this particular video, right? And I was just sharing my, opinion on the situation as a viewer, as someone on the outside looking in. And that's the same thing I'm going to do today. Just reacting to his video that he made 3 years ago. And it's very interesting because I think at the very end, he threw a little bit of shade towards me because I believe I was like one of the only people on YouTube who made a video talking about the situation at hand, So I think he was throwing shade at me. And so, I think it's kind of appropriate that 4 years later I respond to this video or react to this video because, at the end of the day, I don't have a dog in the fight. I didn't have a dog in the fight then. I don't have a dog in the fight now. So, yeah. Before we get started, I just want to say I have always been a fan of Chloe Yazmean. I'm not going to sit around and say that I dislike her or anything of that nature. I've always been a fan of the information that she brings to YouTube and how she's helped countless women in their hygiene, But there are things about her and her, I guess, overall persona that she portrays online that just isn't very likable. It's very uncomfortable to watch, so to say. And I do believe that if you see something that's uncomfortable to watch, it is okay to voice your opinion, as long as you keep it respectful, And so that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be voicing my opinion about what he made public, and I'm going to do it in a respectful manner. I'm not here to drag her. I'm not here to attack her character, because at the end of the day, I don't know her. I don't know her to speak on her character. So, yeah, I'm just a viewer. And I'm just going to be speaking on this from a viewer's perspective. And so, yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it.
So I'm going to start off this video by saying this. So many people nowadays will just say whatever and then try to justify their actions by saying, well, other people are saying it. Other people are doing this or that. Do you think it's okay to hop on a hate train just because you saw something that you didn't like? If y'all really don't know what I'm referring to, which I'm pretty sure you do, I'm talking about the video from a while back where Chloe was cleaning my bathroom and so many people felt a negative type of way towards that. Just because either one, your bathroom is like that, or two, y'all just don't like how she is or how she acts. Mind you, there is absolutely...
I don't know why he would say that. Like, I don't think anybody was talking about the situation because their bathroom is like that or anything of that nature. I remember when all of this was happening in real time, people just genuinely did not like how she was speaking to him. And I don't know if he don't realize, but people was taking up for him. They were taking up for him. They were trying to defend him. And so I always thought it was weird that he was mad at her audience for essentially defending him. People just did not like how she was talking to him, how she was treating him. From the very beginning, he always seemed to be a nice guy, a respectful guy. And that's a rarity in today's society, to find somebody who is nice and respectful. And for somebody like her who have notoriety, who has money, resources, things of that nature, a guy that's in his early 20s who's not out here trying to get with her for the life that she can provide for him. A lot of men would honestly try to take advantage of somebody like her. But the fact that he never did that shows his character. And so her audience has always taken up for him, always tried to defend him. And I hate that he did not see it in that light,
Absolutely nothing wrong with the way that she acts or how she did during that. So this whole Chloe hate train and trying to get recognition off of some bullcrap that literally shouldn't even been blown up at all really needs to stop. It really is sickening, and it really just like makes my blood boil. The fact that there are so many of you that will go to the extent of going in the email, sending death threats, or just straight up cussing completely in complete paragraphs. It's so weird, and
now that is out of order. That's out of line. I'm sorry, but parasocial relationships have to be studied at some point. It gets to a point where you have to sit back and you gotta look at your own actions, and you got to ask yourself, okay, is this normal? Is me sending an entire email to somebody I don't know personally, is that normal? Is that okay? And the answer is no. If it gets to a point, if you don't like how somebody is operating, how somebody is portraying themselves online, if that rubs you the wrong way, if it don't align with your personal morals and values, at some point you have to walk away. Because when it's all said and done, when you get done talking, when you get done ranting and raving, you don't know this person. This person don't know you. And they don't have to change just because you say so. So to be in her email, and I'm sure people are still doing this to this girl to this day. So to be in her email, telling her about herself, saying she needs to do this, she needs to do that, all this other stuff, that is out of order. That's out of line. It really is. Sending death threats, that's out of line too. Like, come on. It's never going to be that deep. And if it is that deep to you, then maybe you're the problem. You know? Like, she has a lot of very weird people who follow her. I mean, she has a very vast array of people who follow her. Some people claim to be fans, some claim to be haters. I've seen weirdness on both ends, honestly. I've seen parasocialism on both ends. I've seen straight up obsession on both ends. And yeah. Yeah, it's weird. She has a lot of very odd followers. And people are a little bit too invested in her life. Yeah. I think I emailed her one time with a product recommendation or something when it came to like acne or something like that. And once I saw like she don't respond to everybody, I never emailed her again, you know? So yeah, to be sitting around sending an email, paragraphs, telling somebody about themselves is never going to be that deep. It's never going to be that deep. Like, I don't even bother leaving comments in her comment section anymore because she don't respond. She don't interact. So what's the point? You're essentially talking to yourself. What is the point?
Knows a lot about yourself as a person. Now, those people that send in death threats and all this and that be the same exact miserable people that are just mad and jealous because my girl has a very powerful personality. She's strong, bold, she's sassy, and I love that. Not to mention her confidence is top tier. Like, do y'all not understand that you literally contradict yourselves so heavily whenever you say all this vile stuff, but turn around, see something you don't like, see that she is more straightforward than you are. She's not submissive and she's not afraid to say something. You mark that up as wrong, but...
Well, if you look at it from biblical terms, women are supposed to be submissive, Jordan. You know, you as the man, you're now her husband. You are supposed to be the head of the household. You are supposed to be the one leading her. It's never supposed to be the other way around. She can voice her opinion, but at the end of the day, as the head of the household, you're supposed to have the final say. You're supposed to be leading her. You know, if you want to look at it from biblical terms.
What you're doing, sending in hate mail, is not wrong. Then you turn around and claim, you're supposed to be a Christian, this and that. Is that not contradicting yourselves to the max? None of you that talk about it literally take a step back to reflect on your own life or how you are as a person. And the only reason that you're saying that is because nobody knows who you are. You're behind the screen. Nobody's diving into your life like that because it's not put out there. And the people that really...
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it is easy to judge people and basically try to crucify them because they're bold enough to put themselves out there. Meanwhile, these same people, they sit behind faceless accounts and they just say whatever, they do whatever. They are just ruthless in the way that they operate. I've personally experienced that as well. The internet is a very, very mean place. I miss the days when social media was fun and enjoyable and relatively safe, because now it's just not. It's not a safe place. It's not really that fun anymore. A lot of people just show up to social media because they get paid to do it, but it's not what it used to be. And I will honestly say, if she's going to continue to be a content creator, she has to create some thick skin. Otherwise, I don't see her continuing to do this in another 5 years. I just don't. I don't. Like, her breaks are becoming more and more frequent, and they're becoming more longer now. I don't think her channel is good for her mental health, and I just don't think it makes her happy like it used to. You know, I just don't see this. I don't see her showing up to her channel in the next 5 years. I don't. And that's just my personal opinion. You know, like everything I say in this video, it's just my opinion. But I don't see her showing up in the next 5 years. If she sees this, I would give her advice and say, like, she needs to start creating some major boundaries. She needs to restrict her comment section. She might need to turn her comment section off, you know? She needs to stop oversharing, please. Please stop oversharing. For goodness sake, stop oversharing. And really start using, like, more discernment when she's sitting down editing and asking herself, like, does the world need to see this? Does the world need to hear this? Is this necessary to keep in this video? Things of that nature. Would the masses try to eat me alive for saying this or doing this or whatever? If the answer is yes, edit it out. Just edit it out, you know? Like, if that makes your video shorter, fine. People's attention spans are very short and almost non-existent nowadays anyways, quiet as it's kept. You know, I've said this before. I wouldn't mind her putting out a 15-minute video versus an hour and 30-minute long video, you know? Honestly. So, I don't know. I feel like she needs to get, like, a social media manager and really get control over her platform again and stop allowing strangers on the internet to determine her experience on this platform. You know? That's just my opinion.
Really get it. So I just want to thank every single real supporter that actually knows. So don't try to mark something up as constructive criticism when it's clear as day hate mail, because it's not what you say, it's literally how you say it. And you can tell so many people were trying to be so petty with it, and they even try to go to the extent to be like, no, you're a little girl, this and that. Y'all be so quick to call other people little girls and this and that, but are you a woman? Honestly, I really need a lot of you to ask yourself that. Do you consider yourself to be a woman? What do you do in your life that can make you say, I'm a woman? Because I can say right here, everybody has their flaws. Nobody's perfect at all, of course. But I know a woman when I see one, and I see one every single day. She's bold, unique, confident, straightforward. I love it, and I honestly need that in my life. Now, we both are still very young. I'm only 23 years old, and this being my first relationship, I can confidently say all this time waited because I was never rushing into anything, because why rush into something that's not going anywhere? I can say that I found exactly what I wanted. And I'm not attracted to the shy, submissive, go do this. Okay. That was mad ugly. But you get what I'm...
I mean, I can... That's, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that. Like, you're 23, this is your first relationship. That's a lot to say for somebody when you don't have a whole lot of experience under your belt as well. You know, like, if you haven't been in other relationships, how do you really know what it is you want or don't want, like or don't like? If you've never put yourself out there to see, if you've never tested the waters to see what you like or what you don't like, you can only base what you currently have off of what you currently have, because you have nothing else to base it off of. So, I don't know. I kind of feel like what he said here was kind of unnecessary, because it's like, you're not speaking from the perspective of a man who's been there and done that. You've had other women, you've been with other women, you've had other relationships, and you can compare what you had in the past to what you have now. You can compare to how you felt in the past to how you feel now. You have nothing to compare it to. So, I don't know. I just feel like he was a boyfriend here just wanting to defend and protect his girlfriend. And I can respect that, but you got a little bit too much dip on your chip for somebody who has no prior experience in relationships with other women. No other prior experience. And maybe people were speaking from their perspective because they have been in other relationships. And when you have that experience, then you grow in wisdom. You know, you're wiser in situations when you have experience in said situations. You know, so that's probably why people were speaking out, because they saw potential toxic traits that might have been triggering to them. So they spoke out about it, you know?
I'm saying I'm not attracted to that. And the thing is, I'm not the only one that feels that way, because I'm not throwing no type of weird shade or nothing, but out of everybody that me and her hung around at the same point in time, I wasn't the only one that felt that way. I'm just the only one that got her. Chloe was the only one in the group that really, really stood out to me, that was bold and straightforward. And the first thing that attracted me to her was really how she carried herself. It was so attractive, just the way how she was so strong. She knew what she was doing in life.
Yeah, I will say she does carry herself with more maturity than what your average person in their early 20s would carry themselves with. And at this time, she might have been, 19, 20, something like that. But even at that age, you still have a lot to learn. And I feel like when you're in your early 20s or just in your 20s in general, you have to be willing to humble yourself enough to learn, to look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, I don't know everything. I could grow more in this area. Maybe what I did back then was out of pocket. Let me change. Let me change for the better. And nothing shows more maturity and more humbleness when you can look yourself in the mirror, see your flaws, see where you misstepped, see where you messed up, and do better. And I feel like because I've already been through my 20s, I feel like the 20s is one of the perfect opportunities to make so many mistakes, but to also shape yourself into who you want yourself to be going into your 30s and going into your 40s. Your 20s is the time for you to find yourself. It's the time for you to develop. It's the time for you to refine yourself. And I think it's kind of cringe for her to be so young, even now. She's what, 22, going on 23 or something like that. She still has so much to learn. Yes, she's very accomplished for her age. Because honestly, when I was 22, I didn't have a fraction of the things going for myself that she has. I mean, honestly. And most people in their early 20s don't. Okay? If you're 22, especially nowadays in this economy, you're lucky if you're living on your own. You're lucky if you got your own car, especially a nice car like what she got. You're lucky if you're able to take care of your other family members. You know, most people in their early 20s are not in that kind of position to where they're barely able to take care of themselves, let alone take care of other people. So she has done a lot. She has accomplished a lot. And she has many reasons to be proud of herself. Many, many reasons. But she's still just 22 going on 23. She has a lot to learn. Or however old she is, 23 going on 24, something like that. She has a lot to learn at the end of the day. She has a lot to learn. Well, a lot. A lot. Like, if you watch her vlogs, even to this day, you can tell, like, she shows her age a lot in her behavior and how she carries herself. And a lot of times it's not a good thing. It's not. Now, when it comes to, like, keeping a clean environment and, you know, taking care of your business and, you know, all of that, yeah, very mature for her age. But when it comes to other things, like how to treat people, oversharing, things of that nature, yeah, she shows her age a lot. Because all of the things that she's shared on her channel, me personally, you couldn't pay me to share half of the things that she shared on her channel to a bunch of strangers, honestly. And now, fast forward to today, a lot of people use that same information against her. They use that same information. So I wouldn't share certain things about my life, about what I've been through, about what my family has been through. I just wouldn't do that. Not to a bunch of strangers. If I'm going to share that kind of information to a stranger, it's going to be a licensed professional. If you're not a licensed professional in a confidential environment where I know my information is safe with you, then I'm not sharing everything. I'm just not. And I wish she had somebody in her life to give her that kind of guidance. Everything isn't meant for the internet, you know?
If she had goals, she had all this and that she was going for, that she worked for what she wanted. Now, I don't want her to always have to work because I'm working my butt off to make sure that I retire her. Then y'all really gonna be mad because she ain't gonna have to do nothing. People be on here hate.
I mean, respectfully, Jordan, she barely shows up to her job as it is. So that's not a flex. And honestly, her job is to turn on a camera and make content and edit said content. She works when she wants to work. Okay? And honestly, compared to other content creators within her same field, she doesn't work nearly as hard as these other content creators. She doesn't have a social media manager. She doesn't do brand deals. She doesn't have sponsorships. And that's not me hating. That's just the facts of what it is. You know? Yeah, she has a TikTok. But when was the last time she posted to her TikTok? Meanwhile, you have other creators with well over 1 million followers, and they're consistently showing up to their platforms. You know, consistently. Sometimes more than once in a day. They work hard. I can't really say that about Chloe. I don't think anybody can honestly say that's a girl who really works hard on her social media platforms. Because she don't show up. She don't show up to what she claimed to be her job. So, and even when this was recorded, even when all of this was happening in real time, she was inconsistent with her posting. she doesn't have a consistent posting schedule, like how some content creators, they'll be like, I'm going to post on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, or I'm going to post on Sundays and Thursdays, or whatever. She's not that person. You know, you just got to keep checking her channel to see if she's posted, or checking your notifications or something like that. But she's just not one of those content creators that shows up, that you can count on to show up on a consistent weekly or daily basis. She's just not. So to sit around and say, well, I want to retire her, I mean, retire her from what? Like, she treats this more so as a hobby than an actual career, you know? And I think that's why so many people take her like as a joke or something, because she don't take this seriously. She don't. And maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But from what I can see, in my opinion, as a viewer, in comparing to other creators in her niche on this same platform and on TikTok, she does not take this seriously. Just being honest. So if anybody needs to be retired, it needs to be her competitors, because they work hard. Okay, they're working with brands. They're doing all the things. Okay, they're showing up on a weekly basis. They're showing up multiple times a day. They are doing the dang thing. And even if they're not present on this platform, they're present on their other platforms. You can count on them to be on their other platforms. And unfortunately, we cannot say that about Chloe.
But still watching, still on every single video, still with post notifications on. What type of junk are you doing in your daily life? Just because you saw a problem with something and didn't like what you saw after your 9-hour scrolling session on YouTube does not mean that you have to go out of your way to send hate mail, to put down comments. You can just be a viewer. You can just watch. You can just, close your mouth. And if you don't like it, oh well, you can dip out. What's keeping you here? But back to her. I waited so long trusting in the Lord Jesus.
He has a point. He does have a point, and I said this in a previous video as well. Like, if you don't like somebody, you don't have to continue to support them. Nothing's keeping you on their platform. They're not begging you to stay on their platform. You're the one that's still showing up week after week or month after month or whatever, So that is true. That is very much true. He has a point there. But two things can be true at the same time, and we're not going to pretend like Chloe has the lifestyle that she makes because she clocks into a job every day. No. She has the lifestyle that she has because of the views and the subscriptions and the engagement of her audience. And if her audience, and I think this is the overall point him and her and whoever else in their life is missing. If the audience don't like something, and more than one, more than two, more than three people is saying the same thing about the same situation, then as the content creator, I think it is fair for you to take a step back, analyze the situation, and be willing or humble enough to make some adjustments for your audience. Because if everybody just decides to leave tomorrow, you don't get paid if nobody's watching. You don't get paid if nobody's engaging. I don't get paid for what I do here, but I've done enough research to know that in order for you to get money from YouTube, people have to watch ads. Okay, you don't get paid just from people watching the video. You get paid from people watching the ads. And in order to watch the ads, you got to be watching the video, right? So if you piss enough people off and they stop watching you, then that's going to affect your money coming in. So as a content creator, yeah, you are to a certain extent, you are at the mercy of making sure you're keeping your audience happy. Because you are providing your audience with entertainment. You are the entertainment creator, right? And if your audience is no longer entertained, if they no longer like what you are creating for them, then yes, you should take a step back and change your approach. You should. And this is why I feel like, in my opinion, she should have a manager at this point. Whether it be him, whether she hires someone, she should have a manager. Someone from a business standpoint who's not operating from their emotions, who isn't benefiting from the lifestyle that she creates for them, but somebody who can look at her channel, look at her analytics, and tell her, hey, you have hundreds of people saying that they want this from you. You need to provide that for them. They want this. They're not engaging that much with this anymore. They don't like this that much anymore. And I think that's fair. In my opinion, I think that's fair. She needs to listen to and honor the requests of her audience. because, like, essentially as a content creator, you're like an entrepreneur. You know, these people help provide money for you to keep your lights on. So why get so big-headed to where you're turning your ears off to what they want to see from you? I don't think that's fair.
That he would send me that perfect one. I really wanted something different. I did not want any copy and paste girl. And instead, I got blessed with a very different woman. She's truly a one of a kind. And I'm so glad that I did wait and I did trust in the Lord, because look at what happened. Like, she's so awesome. Like, y'all really don't know, because you only see one side. You only see what we choose.
I mean, again, I don't know what he's talking about, because he has nothing to base her off of. Like, this is your one and only girlfriend and now wife. So you have nobody else to base it off of. Like, what are you basing this off of? Like, conversation you had with other females or something? Like, what are you basing this off of? You know?
To put on the screen. I'm extremely grateful for her. Literally, the only reason that I am the person who I am today and where I am today is all because of her, because she's so generous and she's been helpful throughout every single step. And on top of that, she's an amazing, dope person, just a really dope person in itself. And I will say, for the people that want to go on here and try to throw some attractive comments or handsome comments at me, it's so disrespectful that you would even do that, because knowing full dang well that I'm in a complete relationship that I love being.
How is that disrespectful? If it's a compliment, sir, learn to take a compliment. Okay, nobody said they want to have your babies. Okay, nobody said that. Nobody said they want you to be their man. I remember what her comment section looked like in this time. And people were just genuinely like, you know, hey, we're rooting for you guys. I hope you guys stay together. He's so nice. He's so sweet. He's handsome. That is just a compliment. Nobody said that they want you, per se. Okay, please. Again, you got a little bit too much dip on your chip. Okay, you are nobody's Chris Brown. Let's move on.
And then I know what you're doing, and that's some little nasty junk that you would even do that. But that really even ties into another reason why I love my woman. She never threw herself at me. She never played around with me, acting like she wanted me, acting like this or that. Matter of fact, here's how it started off. Me, myself, I was an insane crap talker from the very beginning. And honestly, other than cracking jokes and talking crap, I didn't know how to speak to her. So I would throw little jabs here and there, and I knew a lot of the time that I went too far. But I thought that it would be okay because I would label it as a joke.
Well, if you've been around on her channel long enough, watching her when she was 16, 17, 18, she would always say, like, she didn't want a relationship. So she probably wasn't throwing herself at him because her focus was elsewhere during this time. During this time, she was still in school. During this time, she was, you know, taking care of her nieces. Her focus was elsewhere. And she said multiple times on her channel how she didn't want any kids. She didn't want a relationship. She didn't have time for that. Her focus was on, you know, her goals. Her focus was on building her relationship with God. That was her focus. So, yeah, it's really not a shock that she wasn't, quote unquote, throwing herself at him at the time, because, I mean, she made it known multiple times on her channel how boys just was not on her radar. You know, so, yeah.
Knowing that it's not okay, and honestly, still now, I know that she's forgiven me for all that, but it's still, I mean, at the same time, it's still really hard, and I do regret everything that did happen before. I do wish that it started off differently, and I was able to talk like I am now. That's just not the way it was, and I definitely deeply still regret that to this day. It's just because I love her so much, and I couldn't even imagine speaking any type of way like that towards her now. Now, what I want to do is I actually want to hop into this video and react to exactly what all y'all had a problem with, and tell you exactly what I was thinking, and tell you exactly what was going on, since y'all seem to be so confused. Also, I know y'all see the new hair retwist. You feel me? Guess who did it? My baby did. Ooh.
The bathroom actually isn't that bad because I did come over here and like clean a little bit recently. When I came over here to clean, y'all, there was like a coat on this dang counter of just like hair, toothpaste, product, soap, whatever the heck. It was really nasty.
Thanks.
There was a coat on top of his toilet. It was just nasty. So the bathroom don't look too bad, but don't worry about it, baby, because I got you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. See, that's what I like.
See,
I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, like, if he can justify her, you know, the way she was doing things, then maybe he was just a nasty, dirty guy. Like, and honestly, from my experience, I don't know that many young men in their early 20s who do have a lot of cleanliness about themselves. I mean, honestly. So I knew then that she didn't mean any harm by what she was doing, but it's the way you do it. You know, she didn't mean any harm by what she was saying, but it's the way you say it. And it just came across as cringe and uncomfortable to watch to her audience. Okay? And at the end of the day, they may not ever agree with this, but your audience, they are entitled to their opinion. They are entitled to what they may think. And you may not like it, but it is what it is. Okay? And if you don't want to hear people's God-given opinions about what you make public, then turn your comment section off. Okay? Take your email down. It's not like you work with brands anyways. So take your email down. Cut off ways people can communicate with you. Cut it off. If you are that above humbleness to where you don't want anybody saying anything about you that is not praise, then restrict comments or turn your comments off and take your email address out of your bio. Okay? And put it back in when you're ready to work with some brands. But if you're not ready to work with brands, then that email address should not be accessible for your regular everyday person to just email you all the tomfoolery in the world. Honestly. Like, let's just be real.
That's what I like. This is
Okay. So let me go back to this part right here.
Whatever the heck, it was really nasty. There was a coat on top of his toilet. It was just nasty. So
if y'all are talking about this right here as one of them, me just listening, let me tell y'all something real quick before continuing this. Most of the time, I just have like a blank expression on my face. That doesn't mean I'm feeling some type of way. That doesn't mean anything. I literally just have a blank expression. I could really think something is so freaking funny and have a blank face. I don't know. I'm just like that.
Okay, and I feel like that kind of explains what a lot of people say today about him, because today, fast forward to 2026, a lot of people say that he looks miserable in the vlogs and, you know, things of that nature, allegedly. And now I feel like that's him. What he said here is him basically explaining that. And I get it. A lot of people, they do just have like blank expressions, resting bee faces, things like that, right? When people with a resting bee face, you may think they have an attitude. You may think they're mad. You may think they're sad, but they really don't feel any type of way. You know, they're just there, you know, and he might just have that kind of expression about himself, right? So I do appreciate the fact that he is clearing this up, and I wish he would kind of remind her audience of that in 2026, that if he looks a certain kind of way in her vlogs or whatever, that doesn't necessarily mean he's miserable. That doesn't mean he's miserable with her, you know, because I've seen so many comments under her videos, on the Reddit pages, all of that, in 2025 and this year, of people saying that, like, oh, he looks so miserable, you know, blink twice, you know, stuff like that. And yeah.
So let's just put that out there so it's not misconstrued.
the bathroom don't look too bad, but don't worry about it because I got you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. See, that's what I like.
See, that's what I like. This is actually going to be a super easy shower to clean. Like, there's not any tile. It's just like plastic or whatever. That's pretty cool. I ain't got no problem with that. The floorboards are pretty nasty, so I'm going to go ahead and just clean those off with some Clorox wipes, because
yeah, they really
floorboards, look at the floorboards. Oh my god.
Like, I never even clean those.
Hey, I'm not even going to get like embarrassed or nothing like that, because hey,
only people that are embarrassed say things like that.
No, I'm not embarrassed. I'm really not.
Only people that are super embarrassed say things like that. Y'all know what's cool is just like the difference with being a Christian is
If I'm in this situation and I'm able to watch this and laugh, y'all should too. Nobody should feel no type of way either.
just like,
I mean, at the end of the day, again, like I said, she has a very strong personality. That's just how she is, apparently. It seems like she has a very strong personality. And I guess from the outside looking in, people can misconstrue that into thinking, oh, you're mean, and, you know, things of that nature. But she just has a strong personality. And her personality is not for everybody, you know? So, and that's understandable, you know? And it goes back to the whole parasocialism, you know? People got to stop trying to think that somebody has to fit in a certain mold at all times, because they don't. And you can't say, oh, I love your personality when you're keeping a clean house, or when you're being responsible with purchases or whatever. You know, that strong personality is respected in that light. But in this light, it's not smiled upon, you know? I think people in her audience in general, we have to accept her for who she is. And accept the fact that we don't know her. We don't know everything about her. But she does have a strong personality. And because of that, it can come off the wrong way. It doesn't mean that she's a horrible person. It does not mean, you know, or anything. You know what I'm saying? It just means she has a strong personality that isn't for everybody, and that everybody isn't going to get.
You can look forward to good things. Way back
She's so pretty,
I used to drive past them little rich houses. I used to be like, man, like jealous, sad, because I knew I wasn't gonna have it. Well, I thought I wasn't gonna have it. You can help me get these things out. But nowadays, we purposely went through a rich neighborhood to just go ahead and look at the things that we're getting ready to have.
Some big, nice
I'm
houses.
so excited for the future. I really am. Like, I don't know what all
Motivation.
the future holds. Oh,
And I respect that, you know, call things that be not as though they were, you know. Okay. Love that. Love that.
Yeah, there's like a
no. Show them what's going on, huh?
So there's like this coat under all of these Bath and Body Works.
Babe,
Yeah.
that's mold.
That's heavy.
Oh my gosh, I should have brought bleach.
Okay then. Yeah, there's some under all of them. I never move those.
Wait a minute.
I really don't.
I never
Well,
move
now I do. Now I clean under them.
I
But
never move
You don't
them.
have any bleach?
see, y'all see what she did? The thing is, y'all acting like she came in here and just berated me or something and then dipped out. She came in here, was straightforward on literally what was there and what I agreed on what was there, and she helped me clean it. Or she cleaned it pretty much all herself, dang near. Now I actually do the cleaning myself. So, I mean, it really helped me. It helped me to become better at cleaning like that. Seriously.
Okay, so from what I'm seeing, you got a guy in his early 20s. He don't know how to clean. Okay, and again, that's not a shocker. Okay, because a lot of men don't know how to clean. A lot of men, they don't. That can lead into a whole different conversation about how growing up, boys are coddled by their mamas, and women are taught how to keep a house, how to cook, clean, all the things. Meanwhile, boys are raised to just exist. And once they reach their 20s and they move out, they don't know how to do anything but get up and wash their butt and walk out the door and go to work. That's it. You know, they don't even know how to, a lot of them don't even know how to boil water. Okay. And I'm speaking from experience because I got a brother who was coddled. So I get it, you know, but again, Chloe just has a very, very strong personality. And watching this back, I don't think what she was doing was that bad. I really don't. I don't think it was that bad. Her personality just comes across as a lot to a lot of people. And to the audience, they might think, okay, she's doing too much. She's team too much, you know? So.
Probably do. Yeah, I just said I never move those.
Go find some dang bleach. Please go find some dang bleach. Like I was saying, y'all.
I don't even think I had any.
I knew it was up your line.
Me
Anyway,
too.
Me too.
like I was saying, we purposely went through the rich neighborhoods earlier just to see what we're going to have in the future, y'all. I ain't playing. Faith is guaranteed. Okay,
Amen.
faith in Christ. It says, delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart.
Amen.
With that being said, I got to wait and get this bathroom clean. Jordan, I swear to gosh, if that's the case, I'm not cleaning.
Oh my gosh, I'm skipping past that part. That was so freaking disgusting. Man, that was something crazy.
When is the last time you cleaned your...
Also, if you keep up with her sister on social media, then you know that them being clean, I think that's just a thing in their family, especially amongst the women. Cleanliness is a big thing. You know, that's not just something that is subject to Chloe herself. If you keep up with her sister, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever, you see her sister, she likes to keep a clean environment as well. So, I think, yeah, some grace should have been extended to her. And I feel like even with what I'm saying right now, it should have been explained back then by her, by him, whatever, that she don't like clutter. She don't like grime. She don't like grit, you know? And that's okay. If you grew up in that kind of environment where you like to keep a clean environment, where dust and mold and all of that bothers you, yeah, you're going to be expressive about that, you know? That's okay, you know? Again, she got a big personality.
shower?
I want to be honest with you, I don't know.
Have you ever cleaned it?
Yes, ma'am.
Look at the difference between the cleaning right here.
Ooh, don't they look so nice, y'all?
Oh my god.
Look at all the dirt, babe. And then look at the clean down here.
Yeah, it's just like a clean line.
Watch this.
And that's like me going to work, getting all sweaty, nasty, dirty and stuff, and then
Yeah, this is just him not cleaning up his bathroom. Honestly, he just wasn't cleaning his bathroom. To be real, I mean, honestly, what I'm saying, she shouldn't have even had to come in and clean his bathroom. You know, at this time, he's 23 years old. He should have got his rusty behind up and cleaned his own bathroom. To be real, should nobody have to be coming behind you and cleaning up like they a maid? You know, so this is just a result of him not cleaning up after himself. You know, and all of this is basic stuff that you can keep clean yourself, just being honest. But I do want to make a point of saying what I said about her sister. They have more in common than they do not in common. Again, and I know this has nothing to do with the video at hand, but I just want to make that point. I really do pray that they have some type of reconciliation, because if they actually do have real reconciliation, they could be like best friends. Because if you watch her sister on her social media, they have so many similar mannerisms. They are so much alike. Like in just their mannerisms, and they are so much alike. It seemed like, I don't know, but from what I can see online, I'm gonna say that from what I see online, they have very similar mannerisms. And one thing my mama have taught me and my sister, you have to respect the differences in that person. And your sister and your sibling, they're not always going to be exactly like you. They're not going to think exactly like you. And a lot of times you can grow up under the same roof and have totally different childhoods and experience your parents in totally different lights. And I feel like this is just my opinion. I don't know neither one of them, but I think that is their story. They had totally different childhoods. They experienced their parents in totally different they experienced totally different versions of their parents in different times. And I think that now they're both grown women with children of their own, and I think that they need to realize that they experienced different versions of their parents. They had different childhoods. Her sister is significantly older than her, so of course she's going to live a completely different life, have a completely different viewpoint of both parents or whatever than Chloe might have had, And I feel like they need to just come to that realization and learn to accept each other for who they are today, and stop trying to be like, oh, you need to be this, you need to be that. But learn to just accept one another for the grown women that they are, and get to know each other as the grown women and mothers that each person is. I feel like they could have a very rich relationship today if they would just do that. I just wanted to make that point. And I really do pray for family reconciliation between them, because life is short. And once somebody is gone, that's it. That's it.
And it just all wipes off and, sticks to different spots. But no, I didn't clean it nearly as much as I should have, especially working in a dirty environment.
What's the difference?
And I just said that. He was not cleaning his bathroom like that. He was not. And one thing about bathrooms is if you don't clean it, it's going to show. Okay, it's going to show. You got to be on top of wiping up your bathroom on a weekly basis. Because if you don't, you use your bathroom throughout every single day. Okay, some people take a shower or a bath twice a day. It's very easy for your bathroom to get grimy and moldy and all the things. That's the one area in your house that can get very dirty very quickly. And you have to be intentional about keeping that space clean. Because if you don't, it's going to show. And it's going to get to the point where you don't even want to clean your body in that room because it's so nasty and dirty.
I can explain myself.
That's a lot of dirt, honey.
It is. It's probably from all that being outside, going to the gym and stuff, coming home, all that nastiness.
Work.
Yeah, it's probably from never cleaning it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, they came straight out.
Just coming right
Ooh,
out.
satisfying.
Man, I gotta start using that thing. That's old school too.
I was about to get to a good part.
But the longer I keep going, the more I'm finding like it really is nasty up in here, y'all. What the heck? It took the ring light to expose this. Okay. Okay.
I don't still see.
Toilet should be in.
I still don't see a problem with what she's saying though.
Okay, so what I'm seeing here is just she's a little over exaggerating. I mean, yeah, it's nasty, but the hoopla of it all. I think that's what was rubbing people the wrong way, maybe.
Let y'all know that. If I don't, y'all shouldn't. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me just look at how I look. Oh my gosh, he's so uncomfortable. He's so embarrassed. Whoa. Oh my gosh.
Off and leave this dang apartment because when I tell y'all I'm trying to clean this dang toilet and he might not have a toilet brush. You don't have a toilet brush, Jordan?
I really don't. That's why I mean.
Yeah, typical. A man being a man. Men don't think about stuff like that. Okay. Women do, but men don't. That's just a man being a man.
I really don't.
So what have you been doing with your toilet?
Yeah, my brother did, but he tossed it out, I think, recently.
I
Not
hope
recently,
you know
but
that
before
that's just not supposed to sit there.
Well, if your brother tossed it out, he should have been on his way to the Dollar General or Walmart or wherever to get a new one. Okay, because that's one of the staples you should have in your bathroom. It's a toilet brush. Come on.
I hope you know that, right? I hope you're not talking about a spray that just sits there. This is a toilet cleaner that just it doesn't sit. You gotta actually use a brush.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually
around brush.
Yeah, I'm not touching that toilet. You can go ahead and do that because
I honestly don't know what happened
I
to
didn't
it.
expect for everybody to be like me, but this is truly frustrating because it's just like.
Okay, so I mean, all of that, a little bit too much. It ain't that deep, You're volunteering to clean his bathroom, so just clean it and have a good attitude. If you don't want to clean it, I mean, make him do it. That's what I would do. I would send him to the store, but tell him to get a cleaning brush or whatever else you feel like his bathroom may be missing, and have him clean it or something. But if you're volunteering to clean the bathroom, then and you're on camera, yeah, you do need to kind of tweak your personality a little bit because everybody isn't gonna get you. Okay, like he may get her, you know, but everybody isn't going to get her. So it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like you're on camera, sometimes you have to kind of tweak yourself a little bit. Everything don't need to be on the internet. Everything isn't for the internet. It's just not. Like people say, oh, you need to show up as yourself. Just be yourself. Honestly, you can't be yourself on the internet. You can't. You can't. Okay? I don't think anybody shows up fully themselves all the time on the internet. No. So yeah, sometimes for your own sake, it is good to just tweak yourself a little bit. Tone yourself down a little bit. And if you do see yourself kind of just shining out a little bit too much on camera, it is okay to edit some things out. You don't have to leave everything in a video. You just don't. And guess what? Your audience will never know.
We grown. We all grown.
And see that statement, we all grown. Okay. Okay, but you're choosing to clean his bathroom. So you don't have to make that statement. I remember like that statement kind of did rub a lot of people the wrong way. Because now you're not just doing something out of a loving place as a girlfriend, but you're kind of judging him. And yeah, that's going to rub people the wrong way. You know? And again, that's something that could have been edited out.
The bathroom is looking absolutely
Yes,
amazing. It smells so good. It feels so much cleaner. Like the dang air in here is so fresh.
It does. She's not lying. Yeah, y'all. She did her absolute thing in here. As you can see, it's a very noticeable difference.
It really is.
I really do appreciate it. I do. I know it was absolutely disgusting. It's probably hard.
Very
it was
thankful.
probably real hard to clean.
Overall, the bathroom looks amazing. It feels amazing. It smells amazing. Now we are on to
Look at the
this
difference.
nasty room of yours.
Yeah, let's get it because that was disgusting.
Whoa, did y'all just see how I said that was disgusting? Oh my gosh, I'm
This little
super
nasty
embarrassed.
room of yours.
Yeah, let's get it because that.
Oh my gosh, I was on the verge of tears.
Well, there's potential because you'll be cleaning it.
No, well, it's just I'm never here.
That's an excuse, Jordan. I can FaceTime you plenty of time. You just laid in the bed and Cheetos watching TV, so I don't want to hear it. So
No, but yeah, it was a lot of laziness going on for real. I just would come home and then not want to do
Just
nothing.
tell the truth.
Yeah.
You know how much
Well, I mean, I can respect the fact that he's being accountable. He's holding himself accountable, saying, you know, he's being lazy and things of that nature. And like I said, two things can be true. Just like you can hold yourself accountable, sometimes she can hold herself accountable about things. She don't always come across the nicest on camera, and that's just what it is. Okay, like come on. Like, if people voice their opinion about that, and these are the same people that's purchasing what you're selling, you know, they're funding your lifestyle. You can take a step back and analyze what they're saying. You don't have to be in defense mode all the time. You just don't. Because if you go into her comment section, most of her comments are positive. So the comments that she have where people are criticizing and things of that nature, they're not trying to be hateful. They're not trying to be mean. And I'm not going to sit around and say that she don't get hate, because she does. You know, and a lot of the things that said to her are ruthless, are out of line, are out of order, and you know, borderline. You know, not even borderline. They are parasocial. They're coming from people who are way too invested. They need to just step away from her platform altogether instead of sitting around saying all the stuff that they say about her. But just like he's holding himself accountable, she can hold herself accountable as well. She is not the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. You know, and at her age, there's still room to grow. And that's what I said, I believe, in my video that I made 4 years ago that went viral. There's room to grow. You know, like I said, I thought I knew everything at 19 too. But at the end of the day, you don't. You don't. You just don't. 10 years from now, you're going to look back at the version you are today. And if you don't cringe, there's no growth. I can go on my Facebook and I can look at some of the things I said 10, 11, 12 years ago on my Facebook, and I just cringe. Because the person I am today is not who I was 12 years ago. And you should be able to look at yourself a decade ago and see growth. See growth, not just within your body, but growth within your mindset. You know? And that's how it should be with everybody. You should see growth. You should be striving to be a better version of yourself every day. So just like he's able to hold himself accountable on camera, why can't she? Why can't she say, you know what? Yeah, I was a little harsh. I didn't have to say it like that. Sometimes it's not what you say, but it's how you say it. No, it's not even sometimes. It's most times. It's not what you say. Because everything she was saying was very much true. It's how you say it. It's how you're going about it. That's it. That's all.
Beating around the bush and stuff like that. I done on YouTube.
Beating around the bush.
Just go ahead and just tell the truth.
Yeah, I told you.
Like
It was
just
just
be real.
laziness. It was just laziness.
Just
That's all.
laziness. All right, then just admit it.
Just
Y'all know I
admit
be a little bit too real.
She's helped me to open up like immensely as well. Her personality and her as a person, she's helped me to find who I am more and
It smells
open up.
absolutely amazing in here.
I'll
And y'all probably tell.
Wait, what one is that?
This is Midnight Blue Citrus. I'll leave this here for you.
Yeah, that is absolutely amazing.
No nails, girl. All the
No
nails
nails.
on. All the nails on, y'all.
Still cute though.
Do you remember on the Unexpected Show when that one girl?
What was so wrong about that? Matter of fact, no, we're going to go back to that other disgusting part because let me see exactly what happened here.
I swear to God.
Tried to hold myself.
I go get some bleach and I open up it. Why am I being quiet? If it is a problem.
Hey,
No, because it's disrespectful. Because
It is.
this is your stuff. I open up his toilet.
Should have went out there and
He hasn't been here in the past couple days.
I haven't even walked inside of here, and she said it was not old.
I almost threw up. I thrust
if I haven't been there the past few days, it's not old. What's the explanation behind that?
And I literally remember throwing up my whole entire face. I was tearing up. I could not breathe. He hasn't been here in the last couple days. There was no tissue in there, so I know it wasn't you.
Yeah,
His
I ain't
brother.
Didn't even wipe.
His brother has company. And that boy came in here and used your bathroom. Didn't flush. Didn't use no tissue. Just came in here, boop, 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 left your door open and walked out. Like, oh, we good.
We good.
I don't even know what to say.
Are you sure it wasn't you?
Yes, I haven't even.
She tried
I'm let
to.
sales on because I'm trying to hold my word back. Same way I went off on last time.
Man, y'all. I don't know what y'all are seeing. Honestly, what possibly was so freaking wrong about the whole situation?
Mahogany Vanilla got your girl.
I genuinely do not know. And why, whenever you search up her name, you scroll down and you see stuff like, mind you, there's videos out of whole dudes commenting on it. Honestly, what y'all need to do is just watch. If you don't like something, unsubscribe. That's the easiest thing to do instead of expressing your miserable lifestyle.
I mean, that is the easiest thing to do, but just because somebody expresses their opinion, that doesn't make their lifestyle miserable. That just means you don't want to hear what they got to say. Just call it what it is. And if you don't want to hear what they got to say, that's fine. There are things you can do on your end to prevent that from happening, like restrict the comments, turn the comments off, take the email address down, stuff like that. Or just get rid of that email address altogether and create a whole new email address strictly for brands, if and when you do work with brands. There are things that you can do.
Onto somebody else, trying to get negative reactions, trying to knock somebody down. And I wholeheartedly agree with what Chloe said. The devil.
Because let's be real. Opinions come with the territory of what you want to do for a living. You choose to be a content creator and you're making money from this. Yeah, people are going to have their opinions. And if you can't take opinions, if you are that hypersensitive to where anything people say about you that isn't praising and worshiping the ground you walk on, if you're that hypersensitive, then yeah, you need to restrict the comments. You need to turn the comments off. You need to take the email address down, or even go as far as to asking yourself, is this what I want to continue doing? Honestly. Do you need to consider something else for your future? Is this worth your mental health? Is this worth your happiness? Maybe you need to take some of these YouTube checks and invest it into paying for college, going to community college, getting some certificates or degrees or something, so that you can start a new career for yourself. Honestly, because these influencers, they make their lifestyle look really great, but it comes with the cost of people saying some really crazy things about them. It comes with the cost of the gossip. It comes with the cost of people making, videos about them and, all types of things. It comes with the territory. And if you are not prepared for that, then I'm telling you, this might not be the job for you. Just being honest. And after years of being on this platform, she might need to come to Jesus moment for herself and ask herself, like, is this what I want for myself? That's just my opinion.
People uses people. These demons move in and out of people. The devil uses people. And you think that you're strong, but even the strongest can still be used. And those are the exact same people that be super quick to complain about something or comment about something that they dislike on it. And the thing is, you can dislike something, but when you're constantly going back in every following video after that, or in emails expressing your hatred for that person now, or wishing death upon them, I don't know what has to be going on in your life for you to think that that's okay.
And you're right, Jordan. That's not okay. Yes, there's fault on her end, but let's really get into the butt of her audience. Like I said earlier, she attracts some very odd people. Let's just be real. It's some normal people who just watch the video, like, comment, and they go on about their day. There are other people that are extremely over-invested, very overly invested. And some people say, hey, we could say the same thing about you. You're making videos about her, blah, 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 blah. Hey, but I made the decision to not attack her character. I made the decision to not basically bully her. And also I'm not all in her comments. I'm not, what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. I'm just making videos on my channel, sharing my opinion from the perspective of an audience member. And that's something literally anybody can do. And there's no crime against that. It's not. I feel like as long as you keep it respectful and you remember you're speaking about people you don't know, then yeah. What's your opinion about the content? You don't have to be all up in their threatening them. That is ridiculous. There's no reason for that. None. It gets to a point. If you don't like somebody to that extent, please move on. Because at that point, why are you here? Why are you on their profile? Why are you still engaging with content that clearly does not serve you? That is crazy. Okay. Now, voicing your opinion in their comment section or whatever, 1 or 2 times, okay, it's not a big deal, especially if what you're saying is valid. But showing your complete obsession, digging up personal information about them, all of that's parasocial at its finest. That is obsession at its finest. And that's crap I've never been into. But, yeah. What he's saying here is very valid, very fair.
So sick and tired of people trying to hop on this sort of hate train just because somebody could see no problem with what we just watched or what happened, and they could literally go down in the comments and see that people are agreeing with some other hateful negative comments and then be like, you know what, maybe there actually is something wrong with that. Hold on, let me go back. Oh my gosh, I see that now too. Yeah, I'm gonna hop on this hate train now because I'm a weirdo myself and I'm a complete follower. I just really hope y'all get it together. There's a lot more that me and Chloe need to work on, yes, but it doesn't have to do with any of that. We're just trying to get better as individuals ourselves and get better together. That's all. Now, y'all, I can't speak on y'all because where are y'all at? What's your name? What are you doing? We don't have a magnifying glass on your life. We're not looking inside of your life. You're not putting anything out there. So it's really easy for you to say anything, Mr. Counselor or Ms. Counselor.
I mean, what he's saying is true. It's easy to talk when you're not putting yourself out there. But sometimes that's wisdom. The only reason why a lot of people know the things that they know about Chloe is because she has shared it. And a lot of the things, in my opinion, that she has shared is not for the internet. Okay? The things that she has shared about her family, about her upbringing, honestly, should have been shared with a licensed professional. Okay? Behind closed doors. And I'm sorry, in my opinion, if you're not sharing it with a licensed professional, then it shouldn't be shared on the internet for the world to see and hear. That's just my opinion.
We're not going to go about our relationship the same way that any of y'all do. But the people that understand because there's similarities there and they can literally understand it and get that. I feel like whenever your relationship is as different as ours is, that makes us so much stronger. It's not a one-way submissive thing. We're able to talk about things. We're able to joke around and know each other are joking. If somebody goes too far, we will talk about it. We will express our feelings and we will talk about it. It's not no keep silent, be submissive, and just accept everything that's said. If you're told to do something, go do it without saying nothing. Not no, if something's going on, I'm going to be scared. I'm going to be shy and timid. She's straightforward. I need that in my life. I love that. I love her. So I really don't want to see any more of that weird, hateful stuff because I'm okay. I'm fine with the way she is. I love the way she is. I love how she acts towards me.
And honestly, that's why I really don't say anything about anything pertaining to them today. Because in my opinion, I feel like he's exactly where he wants to be. He's doing exactly what he wants to do. He seems perfectly satisfied, perfectly content. In this day and time in 2026, he is her husband. He is the father of her child. He's exactly where he wants to be. And you know what? If you like it, I love it. It is what it is.
And I'm beyond grateful that she's even in my life. Now, for all y'all that don't like it, are y'all dating her or something? What are y'all doing? Have you had experiences that come back to haunt you because you don't like one thing that she said? There's grown people out here wishing death and hating. What does that say about you? Put yourself in her situation. If you were in your boyfriend's home and his was dirty like that and you were cleaning it, how would you react? Would you react perfectly? Just because she's more snappy and straightforward, which I love, doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. She's different. She's not like the typical person. She's not, like I said, a copy and paste female. That's how I know that.
I mean, being kind and reading the room and realizing that you're on camera, that's not being copy and paste. That's just using wisdom and trying to remain likable on camera. Because like I said in my video from 4 years ago, this is your job. At least it's supposed to be your job, right? This is your job. So treat it as such. Treat it as your job. And when you show up to your job, you can't show up any kind of way. You have to show up with a professional hat on. That's just what it is. If it's your job.
Sent. She's been a complete blessing to me, all from the Lord Jesus Christ. And I thank the Lord for her every single day. And in a lot of the videos, once again, me talking about the blank expression, a lot of times I'm literally just looking at her. Like, I literally look at her because she's so gorgeous, and I'm looking at her with complete love over my eyes. Honestly, all the way from her cute little feet to her cute little hands to her gorgeous face to her amazing, unique personality. I love every single thing about her, and I know that she's the perfect woman for me. She's the woman that I've waited so long for. I didn't rush into anything else because I wanted that one woman that I could spend the rest of my life with.
Well, I mean, maybe he got the person that he needs and he wants in his life. I feel like maybe if she had a guy that was more assertive and had more her personality, they would probably clash. So maybe they do fit. Maybe they are compatible. You know, I'm not here to say that they're not. You know, and maybe he needs more of an alpha female in his life. Maybe he just don't have that alpha assertiveness, manliness about himself. So he needs somebody like her to balance him out, you know.
And guess what? When you wait and you have faith in Jesus Christ, you will be blessed with that. And what was I blessed with? Exactly that. Exactly the person that I needed in my life to make me better as a person as well. So I support her. I back her 100% on everything that she has said. The devil does use people. Yes, my bathroom was dirty. And also, let me speak on this whole Quran situation. It's not disrespectful to not want to hand it to somebody else, knowing that what we believe is true. So why would she go and hand that down to somebody or donate it down to somebody whenever that'd be us spreading false information when the Bible is historically correct and we know full well that Jesus is God? We don't believe the same things, and the Quran is significantly different than the Bible. So I will tell you right now, we will not be practicing that and handing it down to others. In the Quran, it states that Jesus is not God.
At the end of the day, the only thing I have to say about that is the same way you want people to respect your faith, you need to respect other people's faith. She has more than just a Christian community who tune in and watch her, and she needs to remember that. That's also something that she could have edited out. She did not have to keep that in her video. You know, I'm a Christian as well, and if you feel that strongly about it, you don't believe what the Quran teaches, then you could have just edited that out of your video altogether, and the world would have never known. But since you decided to leave that in the video, then it should have been handled with more respect. And at the end of the day, if you know anything about that religion, that is still an Abrahamic religion, and it all falls under the Abraham religion. Islam, Christianity, and Judaism are all Abrahamic religions. So before you judge something, before you show a religion that you don't follow with contempt and disrespect, do your research on it. And at the end of the day, yes, you could have donated it to a mosque or something of that nature. You know, you could have put it in a community library or whatever. Nobody said you had to keep it. Nobody said you had to put it on your bookshelf. Nobody said any of that. But you could have just simply said, I thank you for this, for the Quran. However, I am a Christian and I will be donating it to my local mosque or something of that nature. That's all you had to do. If you felt like you had to do anything, because you didn't have to keep that clip in the video in the first place, you know. So yeah, it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
In the Bible, it states Jesus is God. That should tell you all you need to know. The Bible is historically correct, and we know and believe that that is correct. We're not going to entertain in anything other than the Bible and our Jesus, which is God. We don't spread any false information because we follow straight from the Bible. And honestly, this isn't disrespectful because I'm just stating facts. And if you do feel some type of way about it, you just believe differently. I know what we believe and know is true, and you believe what you believe. The Quran condemns Jesus worshippers to hell, and there are so many biblical.
And honestly, I got one more thing to say. If you want to really get into what the Bible says to not neglect the gathering of the saints. So why don't you and your wife go to church anymore? Why are y'all not raising your son in church? You can't pick and choose. The Bible also preaches and teaches against being materialistic. So why does your wife have an entire closet worth of hygiene products that she's not using? You know, why does she boast about having an addiction? You know, when the only thing she should be addicted to is the Holy Spirit. You can't pick and choose. If you believe what the words say, then truly believe what the words say. And if you want to live by the word, then live by the word. Don't just talk about it, be about it. We need to start seeing some giveaways to women in need instead of sitting on hundreds of dollars worth of products. We need to start seeing some vlogs of y'all going to church and building community. Like, don't just talk about it, be about it.
Reasons that justify and explain why Jesus is God. And Jesus not only identified as God himself, but he also proved that through his actions and through his words. So I just wanted to make that completely clear. It's not disrespectful not wanting to spread that knowledge that y'all have and wanting to spread our true knowledge that we know.
And like I said, it is disrespectful because if the roles were reversed and somebody was gifted a Bible and they don't practice Christianity and they threw out the Holy Bible, that would be disrespectful to you all. That would upset you. That would upset me. So it is disrespectful. Again, you're showing your age. Now, when I was in my early 20s, what I deemed appropriate back then, I may not deem that appropriate now. So hopefully in 10 years, they'll look back at some of this stuff and they'll be like, yeah, that was out of pocket. Okay? Because I hope and pray that Chloe Yazmean in her 30s will look back and be like, yeah, I really could have just donated that to a mosque. You know, I really could have did that instead of doing all that extra stuff on my channel and causing all that unnecessary drama. That would have settled and tasted a lot better in the mouths of my audience had I just donated that to a mosque. So, yeah. In that regard, they both are showing their age.
Is right. If you feel some type of way about that, I'm just stating facts. I'm just stating the truth. So I agree with her on what she did. Those are two very different viewpoints. Both cannot be right. We know which one is right, and we refuse to believe anything else. Now, understanding and having knowledge on something else in order to prove our points further is different. But whenever you send it in and try to get them to convert over, that's disrespectful. Nothing like that should be sent in. It should only be if she decided to go and learn more about it, she should go out and get one, which we are completely fine on, because all we need to do is go into our Bible, historically correct, everything adds up, true events that happened, and you have a counter argument for every.
Now I will say, whoever sent her that, I don't understand what their purpose was behind that. Like, if you know she's a Christian, so whoever sent that to her, they also was weird and out of pocket, because you know she's a Christian, and it just like you wouldn't want nobody shoving their religion down your throat, why do that to somebody else? You know, that is weird. So whoever did that, yeah, that was out of pocket and weird on their end. I do want to hold them accountable. You see how we're holding people accountable over here? Because everybody's grown? Yeah.
Every little thing that could be said. Not stuff taken out of context either. Stuff that comes straight from the word. Now that's enough of that. The hate has to stop. There's no more that needs to be said. It's just all the hate has to come to a stop. At what point does it get to where you realize that it's not okay? Just because you don't like something, unsubscribe, dip out. Because you feel some type of way about something that is said or done, and you like to complain about every single little thing, that doesn't mean that you have to speak out about it. Now, all this weird stuff that y'all been saying, that's different, because y'all feel like y'all are defending me when there's no reason to be defending. I love what's happening right now. I love what's going on in my life. I love her being in my life. So y'all can stop all that right now because it's just all weird. Now, once again, I just want to say I absolutely love her as a woman and the unique person she is. She didn't do anything wrong, as y'all saw going through there. There was nothing that should be tripped about at all. I'm actually amazingly happy with her. I love her. She doesn't degrade me. She's always helping me. I'm super grateful for her and her family in itself as well. All of them are so supportive, and I love her family. Every single one of them has helped me in big ways, and although they know it or don't, they have. But Chloe is the reason why I am here today, and I've been becoming stronger because of her. Hopefully all of y'all actually understand where I was coming from and can understand that if I don't have a problem with it, you shouldn't. And if you do have a problem with it, it's so easy to head on and...
I mean, that's real talk. That's real talk. That's why you'll never catch me saying too much about him today in 2026. Because, I mean, he's where he wants to be. You know, at this point, ain't nothing to say.
You know, watch something else. But for all of you that actually do understand and get it, thank you. For all of you true supporters, thank you. I just wanted to come on here and try to, you know, make y'all understand. So...
And what's a true supporter? Somebody who just sits around and kisses somebody's butt? No. I feel like I'm a true supporter. I've watched all of her videos. Since 2020. But if you see something you don't like, and if you see something where you feel like somebody can grow in an area, yeah, you can voice that. You can, and you should be able to. That's what the comment section is for. That's not what her email is for. No. People should not be comfortable emailing her any and everything. Honestly, if you're not a brand, you don't have a reason to email her. To be honest. But if you're a supporter, if you're a subscriber, you should be able to voice your opinion about the content that she makes public. That should be allowed. You know, you're running a YouTube channel, not a cult. So come on now, let's touch grass when it comes to that.
There's no more of that weird hate train stuff because that has to stop. And I'm going to ask, if those people that made videos on it would take their videos down, that'd be awesome. And I'm asking you to do that. If you don't, that's petty and weird. And you just want to entertain some drama.
Yeah, and that is what I have to say to them. I made a video 4 years ago, and I still have my video up. Because I got a daddy, and it ain't Jordan. And you don't tell me what to do on my channel. You know? And so, yeah, that video is still up to this day. I did not take it down. The only thing I did was turn the comments off. But for my own mental health, because at the end of the day, I don't get paid for this. This is not my job. And anything that I do on my channel that I feel like will get a lot of pushback, I have enough common sense to protect my mental health. And I'm going to protect my mental health at all costs. Just like on this video, the comments are restricted. So yeah, I'm going to speak on a public figure if I want to. You're a public figure. You're not just some random Joe. You're a public figure. Okay? And it's all fun and dandy. Everybody wants to be an influencer. Everybody wants to be a content creator when they're seeing the money. Right? When they're seeing what the money can buy them. When they're seeing how their lives can change. But the minute somebody has an opinion, now it's a problem. No, it don't work like that. It don't. Respectfully, it do not work like that. You know? So, I have a right to my opinion. Just like you have the right to your opinion of making this video, I have a right to my opinion. And I will always have a right to my opinion. And that goes for them. And that goes to all of the little haters that I've been getting in the past few weeks. I have a right to my opinion. At the end of the day, I'm just a viewer. But I'm also a viewer who helped fund her check over the years. So my thing is this, as long as my views and my subscriptions are helping fund her check, I will always have a right to my opinion, especially if my opinion is respectful. And I will hold myself accountable, and I will say that my opinion hasn't always been the most respectful. But I also hold myself accountable, and I took those videos down. Okay? So, but this, I think I voiced my opinion in a very respectful manner. I decided I'm not going to attack her character. Because like I said, in order to attack somebody's character, you have to first of all know them. And I don't know either of these people. I don't know these people. Okay? I'm just watching. I'm just a viewer like everybody else. And I'm also a viewer with my opinion. And I'm using my channel to share my opinion. And what I'm doing, anybody can do. Okay? So if you're watching this and you feel some type of way that I'm sharing my opinion, hey, you can share your opinion as well. What's stopping you from posting it to your channel? Nothing. You know, nothing is stopping you from posting to your channel. No, nothing. Okay? But as long as these people are public figures, it comes with the territory. And I'm honestly surprised more people haven't made videos talking about them. I'm honestly surprised. Because if you go on TikTok and other platforms, people talk about public figures all the time. Reaction, commentary is honestly nothing new. It's not a new concept. People do it all the time. And again, it comes with the territory of what you choose to do for a living. So if you don't want people making commentary on you that is negative and all of this other stuff, then be mindful of what you put out there. And I feel like that is the overall point of what I've been saying in today's video. Be mindful of what you say. Everything is not for public consumption. You can film something, yeah, but you can also edit it out. You don't have to keep it in the video. And that is the point Jordan and Chloe always seem to miss. Okay, you can edit this stuff out. The stuff you feel like is problematic or it's going to be problematic, you can edit it out. You don't have to keep it in your video just because you filmed it. You just don't. And if you choose to keep something in a video, then be prepared for whatever backlash you get from it. And if you can't handle the backlash, then do what you have to do to protect your mental health. Again, restrict the comments, turn the comments off, take your email address down, whatever. Or even go as far as reconsidering if this is the best lane for you to be in. You can always go back to school. You know? You can always go to school. You can always get a degree. You can always choose to go into a different career field. This does not have to be what you retire from when you're in your 40s or 50s or 60s. It just don't. It don't. This can be a chapter of your life. It does not have to be your whole life. And honestly, from what we have seen with what happened with TikTok, social media is not forever. It can be here one day and gone the next. So it would be wise for you to have some type of a backup plan anyways. One thing I respect about the creator, Michaela Noguera, is she doesn't just, yes, she shows up to her TikTok, but she created a whole nother lane for herself. So if anything ever happened to that platform, she's good. She has literally created generational wealth for herself, for whatever children she wants to have. She is a very smart businesswoman. Very smart. Very smart. She created a whole skincare brand that's doing extremely well. She didn't just create a product, she created a good product. So if anything happens to TikTok, she don't need it. She can take it or she can leave it. But she's still going to be wealthy regardless. And I feel like that is the smart thing to do for any influencer and major content creator. Don't just rely on your social media page or just your one YouTube channel. And if all you got is social media, then at least have a presence on other social media platforms. At least. And we don't even see that from Chloe. She don't have a platform on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that. She has a TikTok, but she never posts to that anymore. She has a Snapchat and she doesn't post to that. So even if YouTube isn't a safe place for her mentally anymore, she could still post to other platforms and she won't even do that. And some would argue that, you make more money on Snapchat. Some would argue that. Some would argue that it's easier for brands to see you and work with you on TikTok. Because short form content is in now. That's what people like to consume. And I was excited for her when she moved to TikTok. And to see that she's not really doing anything with that page is very disappointing, in my opinion. But she's not doing anything. So my advice to her, and I know my advice is, worthless, but if I had to give her advice, I would say stop worrying about what people got to say about you and clock in. Clock in and lock in. Seriously, because you got people who hasn't been doing this nearly as long as she have literally left her in the dust. Creators like Emily Lou May was in a freaking Tree Hut Super Bowl commercial. And I remember seeing that, and I couldn't help but wonder, why couldn't this be Chloe? Why shouldn't this be Chloe? Why isn't Chloe Yazmean in this commercial with these other influencers? Because when she says that she used to talk about Tree Hut all the time, she did. She did used to talk about Tree Hut all the time. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people was put on to Tree Hut just from watching her content. She is one of the OG hygiene creators. And now she's just being left in the dust because she's more worried about what strangers on the internet have to say about her than locking in to her channels and her platforms. And it's very sad to watch. It's very sad to watch. But going back to what Jordan is doing here, yeah, my video is still up. It's still up. You can still go and watch it. And I still stand by what I said 4 years later. Everything I said in that video, I still stand by it. I said, this is your job. Treat it like a job. And I still feel that way. Treat it like a job. This is your job. Lock in with your job. Lock in. You should be brushing shoulders with Paul Reacts. Instead of just talking about him on your channel from time to time, you should know this man. You should have his phone number. Y'all should be following each other on social media. Like, come on. You're the same age as these other girls on these platforms. And they're light years ahead of you. And that's not okay. So lock in. At this point, lock in. And yeah, to Jordan, I don't know what to say. All I know is, I respect the fact that he tried to come to his girl's rescue. I noticed ever since he hasn't really said anything else to this extent about anything. But I respect what he tried to do here. I know as far as me, because I wasn't going to take my video down because he said so. No. I said what I said then, and I'm saying what I said now, and I stand by it. So it's my opinion. And when you have opinions, and when you choose to put yourself out there, you choose to put your life out there, you choose to overshare, you choose to have little to no discernment on what you keep in a video and what you choose to edit out, that comes with the territory. Hire an editor. I don't know. Hire a social media manager. I don't know what you need to do. But there are other options. So yeah, anyways, I just wanted to react to this and just give my opinion, and that's the beauty of it. It's all opinion based. Nothing I said here is law. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.